Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing this evening? How are you guys doing this evening? I don't usually say how are we doing this evening. I usually say how are you guys doing this evening. And it is this evening because I'm getting started late tonight. It is currently, let's see what time it is, 6:43 p.m. on Tuesday evening. Let's look at the temperature. It's been really, really nice today. And they said it was going to rain all day today, and it hasn't been raining at all. As I said, it's 80 degrees. 80 degrees, partly cloudy, feels like 81. And thunderstorms possible after 12 a.m. So I guess it's supposed to rain later tonight. And then what's it supposed to be like tomorrow? Let's see. Wednesday, 73 degrees, thunderstorms. Showers early, then blustery with scattered thunderstorms later in the day. Then 77 on Thursday. Oh, 59 on Friday. It's going to dip way down. And then 55 on Saturday, 56 on Sunday. 63, 62, 64, 63, 67. We don't get back up into the 70s until next Saturday. It's supposed to be 70. 74, 74, 74 on the 30th. So the rest of April is going to be a little cool, which is fine. Which is fine. I mean, what are you going to do, right? It reminds me of when Valerini and I used to go to the casino, and we'd be playing next to each other, and we'd get some bonus, and it'd be like $30, and I'd be like, I'll take it. Or she'd say, I'll take it, and we'd be like, well, obviously, what are you going to do, you know? I'll take those. I'll take the 50s for the rest of the summer. I mean, or the rest of the spring. What are you going to do? I do want some rain, though, because I want my hostas to make it. My neighbor was out earlier, and she goes, your hostas are doing so well. And I was like, you think? I can't really tell if they're doing much better or not. I mean, they're lasting. But the one on the end, on this end, well, this one, the closest one, and the one on the very end, and the two over there are doing great. The second one from the front on this side, those are the ones that were like individual ones, and they're struggling a little bit. But she said that she thinks they're gonna do fine. She's like, they just gotta like get rooted, and then they'll do fine. But oh my god, I already see some weeds coming up where I just picked weeds the other day. I'm going to pick weeds again this weekend. But I watered them last night. I watered them a lot last night with the watering can. I'm such a gardener now with the watering can. And so if it rains tonight, that would be really good, because the last couple times it's rained, the next day, the other hostas just like exploded. I mean, they are like, look at these hostas. These hostas right here are so big. I mean, it looks nice out here. I just need to get mulch. But my hostas look good, don't you think? See, that's a little hosta. Here, let's do a little hosta review. Hold on a second, let me get my pillow. So like, this is the hosta that I had before, and that one I had before. There's like two separate ones. I asked her if we should split that one, and she's like, no, just leave it there, let it be one big one. And this one I had before. See, there's some weeds growing there. This one I had before, and then this one is new, and it seems like it's doing really well. She said it was. And then this one on the end is doing really well. And then this one in the front is doing well. This is the one, she's struggling a little bit. She's not doing great. I might take some of this tomorrow if I feel inspired. I might dig up a little bit of that and move it over to this one. And the other thing I might do is I might add a little bit more over here, because I don't know if you can tell. Now, she said she doesn't think it matters, but when you look back, it's like not even. So, but yeah, hostas are doing good. I'm so excited about the hostas this year. I need a thumbnail. But I'm so excited about the hostas, and I watered all the plants in the bathroom last night. I think I'll probably aim for like the 1st of May, bringing them out here. Well, bringing Fernalicious out here. And then putting Simon and... Did I say Simon and Garfunkel? Is that what I decided to name them? Putting Simon and Garfunkel out on the back porch. They're still doing well. Simon and Garfunkel are actually super green right now. I can't believe it. Like, the palm leaves are just like going like crazy. And so, I don't know if it's because it's spring and it's just like the timing of it or whatever. But yeah, so I think they're going to do well. They made it through the winter, so I can't believe that. The shirt's got so much dust and stuff on it. So yeah, so Alex is upstairs right now, and he is talking to his mom. He got home about an hour ago, and he was hanging out with Boo Radley and stuff, and now he's talking to his mom on the phone, so he'll probably be talking to her the whole time that I'm vlogging. And then we'll probably watch a little bit of Schitt's Creek. We've been watching Schitt's Creek like every single night, like 2 or 3, 4 episodes of it. It's so much fun. I haven't watched it since the lockdown. I only watched it I mean, I've watched an episode here and there, but like straight through. We were watching it straight through again. And last night, we watched the last 3 episodes of season 2. And the last episode of season 2, if you've watched Schitt's Creek, if you haven't, this won't ruin it for you, but it's their anniversary. So it's Johnny Rose and Moira's anniversary, and it's when they go to the restaurant and, hey, how are you? And their friends from out of town come into town, and why can I never remember the mayor's name? It's like on the tip of my tongue. It starts with an R. Jocelyn is the wife. I love her. She's so hilarious. The actress that plays her is so good. Randy? That's not his name. What's his name? Schitt's Creek cast. What's his name? It's Chris Elliott plays him. I can't remember who he is. Roland. And they show up, and then afterwards they go to Mutt's barn for a party. I love that episode so much. It's like, I was literally... Like, Tanya has never watched Schitt's Creek. She said she's tried to watch it and she couldn't really get into it. I was like, Tanya, it's like, and I'm totally not somebody that loves, like, sitcoms. But I said, Tanya, it's not just funny, hilarious, which it is absolutely some of the best comedy writing ever. It's also super endearing. Like, I'm sitting in there, like, Alex and I are both like, we've seen it before, right? I've seen that episode probably 2 or 3 times. I'm like, bawling my eyes out. It's such a great episode. It's so sweet. And the whole conversation at the dinner table is really about... I think it's because this has been something I've really, like the last 6 months, really been thinking a lot about, but about the people that show up for you in your life, you know? What are you recording? She's recording something. It's really about the people that, my neighbor's home, it's really about the people that show up for you. And it's something I've really been thinking about the last 6 months. You know, I was talking to Tanya about this last night, and it's like, I've gone through these periods in my life where when I was younger, I used to have a lot of people in my life. I wouldn't necessarily call them all friends, but acquaintances, you know. Now today they have all these, you know, different words for these people, you know. I don't know. I didn't never call them acquaintances. I said everybody was my friends, you know, back in the day. I had a pretty, I think, light definition of what that word meant. But I had a lot of people in my life, you know, back in the day. And, like, could really pack a party, so to speak, you know, or a funeral. I used to think about that. Today I'm like, I don't think, I don't know that a lot of people would show up, you know, for a party or anything today. I don't really have that many people to ask. And so, you know, then I would say it was around the time that I came back into the rooms of recovery. I started really working hard on not only looking at my toxicity in other people's lives and taking responsibility for that and really working through that, but also removing people that were consistently toxic and negative in my life as well. And there were a couple people that I removed from my life. And at that point, I didn't even really have that many people in my life. I've never, you know, since I got sober, I've never been somebody that's had tons. I mean, before I got sober, I had tons of people in my life. But I've never been somebody that's had a large group of friends. You know, Alex has, you know, 5 or 6 different groups of friends, and, you know, 3 or 4 girlfriends from this group, 3 or 4 girlfriends from that group, and whatever, right? And then he has, like, his 2 or 3 really diehard, really good friends. But even then, they're kind of like, he's got, like, the 2 girls that we went to Florida with a couple years ago, and, like, they're really, like, long-term diehard friends. And then, you know, he's got, like, a couple friends here, like, that are really, like, he's got some girlfriends of his that are really, really close. But really probably only, like, I would say my husband only has, like, 2 or 3 really close friends. Like, ride or die close friends. I don't have those, like, exterior groups. Are you putting something in my mailbox?
No.
You look so pretty.
Going to book club.
You look so pretty.
Thank you.
You're all made up and everything.
No, it'd be more often, yeah.
What's your book this month?
It's called Homegoing.
Was it good? Oh, no?
I think I'm the only one that didn't like it, though.
You're the only one that didn't like it? Okay, well, have fun.
Okay.
You're not taking any wine or anything tonight.
Because the hostess brings all that.
Oh, okay. All right, have fun.
Don't worry.
She's going to book club in the neighborhood. That's the book club that she asked me if I wanted to be in, and then Alex was like, you should be in it. And then the more I talked to her, she's like, I think we should start our own book club. And I was like, okay, I'm totally down to start, like, the three of us on the corner thinking about starting a book club, just the three of us. She never likes any of the books that they read, first of all. And then, apparently there are, there's, like, one woman in the group that she's like, you know, she's got some pretty, like, not that she doesn't, I don't really know how to say this. Not that, I don't even know this woman. She lives on the other side of the neighborhood. But that, apparently she always, like, talks a lot during book club. And, like, my neighbor is, like, very, well, all of our neighbors are pretty, like, liberal-minded and stuff like that. But apparently this woman has very strong beliefs about, I don't know why I'm even dancing around it. She don't like gay people, I guess. I don't know. So she's like, I don't know. She's like, I just don't think that you would feel very comfortable in that group. And I was like, okay, whatever. And so, and then there were, but what's funny is the neighbor that walks around, she's like in everything. The neighbor that I always say is my favorite neighbor, that she's not even my neighbor, she like lives down the street, but she and her husband always walk down. She's in the book club too, and she was like, oh, there's, we have spots available. This was a while ago, like last summer. She's like, there's spots available for you to be in the book club. And I said, yeah, I heard, and she's like into, like, we talk about the Grateful Dead and all this kind of stuff, you know. She's like a hippie back in the day. And I said, yeah, I kind of heard that maybe there was like a couple people that, like, maybe I wouldn't like get along. She's like, well, you would be the only guy in the group, first of all. And I was like, well, I'm always the only guy. I don't have a problem with that, right? And she just laughed and she was like, yeah, she's like, you know, people are people and whatever. And so I had said something to her about wanting to start a book club. I've, like, got the 2 online book clubs, so I don't even know that I need another book club to do it. But anyway, so yeah, the more I found out about it, well, they always, like, they pick, that book, she said she was the only one that didn't like it. Now I don't even remember what the title was that she said. But anyway, so, yeah, she's always like, well, the offer still stands if you want to be in the book club. I'm like, no, I think not. It's hard to be, like, I mean, this is kind of a strange conversation. I feel like I'm kind of like, I need to get into the mode of just, like, if I were having this conversation with a friend of mine. Like, if I were having a conversation with her, you know? Okay, here's the thing. Like, I'm glad that she said that to me, because the woman that feels that way is the woman that organized the book club. It's interesting being in spaces where people don't like you for something like being gay, because I'm not at the point in my life anymore where, I mean, unless she said something rude to me or was rude, like, I wouldn't, like, what is it, you know, like, gay people? I mean, I wouldn't say that, right? But, like, if it came up in the context of, like, a book discussion or whatever, like, I would have to say something. I'm not a person that stays silent anymore about my principles and my beliefs. I just can't. And I don't have people in my life that don't think like-minded to me. I just don't. Not that we have to agree on everything, but there are, I would say, 3 to 5 pretty serious things that I feel pretty strongly about, that I can't have people in my life that completely think adversely to that, and I choose not to have them in my life today. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, you're limiting people because of different beliefs. I'm not talking about, like, they don't like a movie and I don't like a movie. I'm talking about they want to pray for me because they don't think that God loves me because I'm gay. I'm talking about that kind of shit. I'm not dealing with that. I've lived too much of life that I don't need to deal with that today, you know? But anyway, about the groups, friends back in the day, Tanya and I were talking about this last night, you know, so 10 or 15 years, well, I think it was 11 or 12 years ago that I came back going to meetings. Tanya and I just figured it out. We were talking the other day and we figured it out. And I think I was talking about it on here one day. Whenever it was, 11 to 12 years ago, when I started in January, when I started going back to meetings, at that time, I realized that as I was working, it really came as focus of me working on toxicity as a character defect and how I had negatively affected other people's lives and things like that, that I was like, there are some people in my life that, you know, and that I started trying to have those conversations, and it just, like, it wasn't heard. And so I was like, you know what, like, I don't really have relationships with these people anymore. Why am I, there's a few people that really want me in my life. Why am I fighting for the people that don't really want me there anyway? Like, why am I forcing myself to be at tables where I'm not desired anyway, if that makes sense? And so those relationships kind of, like, fell apart. I think it wasn't even, you know, I talk a lot about removing toxicity from my life. It wasn't so much that I deliberately, like, I would have conversations with those people and I'd say, you're very negative. Like, you know, like, there's no focus on gratitude and whatever. And, you know, I'm worried about you and I care about you. And I was the same way, and I had to work through that, you know, and a couple people heard it and a couple people didn't. But I think over time what happened, God, this got deep. I didn't think this was going to go this deep tonight. It wasn't even, it was deliberate to have those conversations because I could no longer have negativity in my life. I'm somebody that, if I'm surrounded by a lot of negativity, I can become very negative. And if I'm surrounded by a lot of people that are very pessimistic, I can become very pessimistic. People ask me all the time, like, what do you love about your husband? One of the things I love about my husband is that he is vivaciously positive and always optimistic. And so is his family. Like, talking about his mom. Like, his mom is always optimistic, always excited about things. His whole family is, you know? And so I have to surround myself with people because I can fall into that. And that's my responsibility, right? Like, when I become negative. But if you're trying to be positive and you're with somebody that's, you know, around people that are constantly negative, it's tough. It's hard, you know? And so I think over time, those friendships kind of went their separate ways. Well, then it was just even less people that I had in my life. And then, you know, I still had some people in my life and stuff like that. Everybody's walking to the book club. I've never even seen this woman before in my entire life, and I can tell she's walking to the book club. You know, there were a couple people in my life that really meant a lot to me. And I really don't know how, I mean, like, I'm kind of like walking on eggshells around having this conversation. After the accident, I just really didn't hear from them. Friends of mine that I thought, like, I had shown up for them, and I just didn't even, I thought it was kind of a no-brainer, you know, that I would get a phone call from people every once in a while, you know, that, hey, like, do you want to go to Walmart today, or go get a coffee, or let me just come pick you up and drive you around? And it's been literally crickets for 2 years. I mean, maybe here and there, but it's been crickets. And they're very fully aware of the fact that I've chosen not to drive, I'm not leaving the house, and whatnot. And I haven't really, and I don't know, like, if they don't know, like, how to ask, or what language to use, or how to have conversations. I've reached out to them. I've reached out to, it's 2 people. I've reached out to them, and it's not really anybody that I've ever talked about on video, so I'm not worried, and they don't watch my videos, so I'm not worried about them. I mean, the people that you guys consistently hear me talk about in videos that have been my friends since I've been talking about, you know, like, you know, Tana Jean, Mel, Nikki, Melissa, Valerie, you know, all my friends, they have consistently, I feel like I'm leaving somebody out, and everybody's gonna be like, oh, that's the one. It's nobody I've talked about on video. The 2 people are not people that I've talked about on video. All the people I've talked about on video have been just unbelievably kind and gracious to me. But I have reached out to these 2 people, and they haven't responded. And we were close, and I don't really know what it is. I don't know if, you know, they were very, like, after the accident, they were very worried and concerned and called and checked in, and then it just kind of, it stopped. It was like, you know, a couple months later, it was like, oh, I guess they just assume I'm okay. And there are also people, I think this is one of the things that hurt, that there are people that live, you know, like, Tanya lives 20, 25 minutes away. Caroline's a half an hour away. Caroline's another person that's been extreme. I mean, she's probably the one that's gone the distance besides Alex. you know, Caroline lives a half an hour away. We're actually not doing Cousin Fun Day tomorrow because she's got a bunch of meetings, and so she wanted to do it on Friday, but we're taking Boo to the vet on Friday for his checkup, his annual checkup. And so we're going to just skip this week and do next week. But anyway, you know, Caroline lives a half an hour away, and she's made this point to show up once a week. And I'm even like today she felt so bad when we were talking on the phone. She was like, I'm really sorry, you know, I can't do it Wednesday. I said, Caroline, don't worry about it. And she's like, I know, but I feel bad. I said, Caroline, you've picked me up every week. Like, don't worry about it. Like, seriously, if you have to miss a month or 6 months, like, I mean, and she's like, and she's made that commitment to do that for the rest of our lives, you know? Like, I mean, it's unbelievable to me. And, you know, Tanya, it just goes out of her way, like, you know, I've had so many, you know, Valerie, when she lived in Indianapolis, would just call me and be like, I'm getting you out of that house, you know? And then to have people that live closer than any of them, that it's just never been on their radar to even think I might just want to go to the grocery store or something, you know? I don't know. It just, do you guys remember that movie, One True Thing, with Meryl Streep, where she would, like, once a week, she would go and get that friend out of her house? It's like, I don't know, it just is kind of weird to me that, to these two people, that it's never occurred to them that, like, I mean, I've literally, like, I've texted them, there's no responses, and I don't even, you know, like, we were close, you know? The one person, the last time that I talked to them, they were, you know, I was talking to them on the phone, and they were, you know, on and on and on, and then they were like, you know, like, how are you? And I was like, I'm good, and, you know, just, what are you up to? Filming videos, blah, blah, getting out much? No, I'm not, you know, you know, now that I'm not driving, you know, just at home, but I'm good. I got all the things I need. Oh, that's good, you know, whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, let's get together soon. We can go have lunch and whatever. And I was like, okay, you know. So it's interesting that who shows up for you. I mean, Caroline and Tanya are so busy, and they consistently show up for me, you know? Mel and Nikki, I mean, well, I think the other thing is that these friendships are all reciprocal. It's not just like, what am I getting from them? I think it's that all these friendships that I'm mentioning are all reciprocal, you know? Like, I reach out to them and like, hey, how are you doing? I know you're going through a tough time. Is there anything I can do for you? And whatever, and like, you know, we send each other stuff and, you know, text each other funny stuff, and they're all reciprocal relationships. And I don't know, I guess maybe today in my life, I don't, you know, my circle's very small. It has been, but like, for a while, I don't know, it's just, how did I even get started talking about this? Oh, about that last episode of Schitt's Creek. It's like, it's about that. I mean, it's that conversation. If you've seen the episode when they're at dinner, you know what I'm talking about. When he talks to the old friends that haven't shown up for them, and the new friends that are willing to do anything for them. And that's not missed on me, you know? And it's not just because of the accident. It's, you know, so there's just a couple YouTubers out there that it's like, constantly check in on me, you know? Want to make sure that I'm okay. And people that just did unbelievable things, you know? That really showed up, and I just, you know, and I've tried to reciprocate that and be that person in return, because I want to be the friend that I want, you know. And I don't know, it's hard. I think it's one of the things that my mom definitely felt as she got older. So I don't think it's necessarily about going through some traumatic event in your life. It doesn't have to be about that. It can be just about who shows up for you on the simple moments, not just the most tragic of moments, you know. Can just, who shows up for you? I don't know, I was saying to Tanya last night, it's like, Tanya and I have kind of like gone through everything together for the last 25 years, and if it's just Tanya and I for the next 25 years, I'm okay with that too, you know, like, and Tanya's like, yeah, I don't need a lot of people, like, she's going on this trip with her friend, it's like, her good friends are me and this other person, you know, she's got a couple friends here and there, like, but not like as deep as those. I'm grateful for the people that I have in my life. I think, you know, I tell Tanya this a lot, and I tell my other friends this, that, you know, like, I got a text from, like, Nikki last night, and she's like, I miss you. Like, I mean, just to get a text like that, that's what I talk about at the end of my vlogs when I say, reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Like, that text meant so much to me. You know, I woke up to that text because she texted it to me late, or this morning or late last night. But like that meant so much to me, you know? Like Mel was checking in on me yesterday about, you know, my weight loss journey, and she was asking me, you know, like questions about my routine and things like that, and how are you doing? Do you need any support? Do you need any help? You know, Valerie checks in on me all the time. I check in on her, I check in on them. You know, like, I think that's the thing I've learned, is that friendships have to be reciprocal. I also think, oh my God, I just noticed that my neighbor, that thing that I was talking about yesterday, it's back up there. I should go over there and show it to you guys. They would totally not care, but I want to see what it says on it before. It's like a poem or something all the way around or down it. I can't really see. They put it back up there yet, though it wasn't up there yesterday. But anyway, I think that's the one thing I've learned, is that, have you ever had a friend that, like, when you talk to them on the phone, they never ask you one thing about themselves, about yourself? Like, they never ask you anything. It's just like, oh, let me tell you about what's going on in my life, and then it's a half an hour, and they're like, okay, gotta go, gotta make dinner for the family, you know, and you're like, oh, okay. And you get off the phone, and it's like, they didn't ask me one thing about myself. Like, do they just want to call and vent? Do they not really ever, you know, they didn't care about anything that's going on with me? Do they, you know? And then it makes you start questioning that friendship when it's not just one conversation, but it's 2 or 3. I don't want to be that person, you know? I make it a point to always ask, you know, how people are doing, because I think I noticed that like 20 years ago or something, I was having a friend, I remember who it was, and he and I are still dear friends today, and it's not like that at all, but he was going through a really tough time, and I can remember like all these conversations. Oh, here's my favorite neighbors. Oh no, it's just the husband. Hey, how are you? Where's the wife at? Oh, she's only good for 1 walk a day? She's part of the book club. Is she at book club tonight, or is she not in the book club anymore?
Huh?
Is she not in the book club anymore?
Yeah, that's where she is tonight.
Oh, she's at the book club tonight? Yeah. Okay, have fun.
Thank you.
She's the hippie woman that I was talking about. She was a hippie back in the day, and she goes to the book club. She joins everything, though. She's part of everything. She's part of pickleball. She's part of the book club. She's part of everything. I love that. Maybe I'll start my own book club here. What should we read in the neighborhood? Thrillers? When I was looking down at that library, there were a lot of thrillers down there. Maybe people in the neighborhood like thrillers. Maybe I'll start a book club in the neighborhood for everybody. Anybody that, you know, can come. But, we could do, I was thinking that we could do like, have, like for the summer months, doing like one like day every 2 weeks, having like a picnic, like meetup at the pool where we all brought like pitch-ins. Like, wouldn't that be fun? I think that would be fun. Something about organizing something like that this summer. But I definitely want to get more involved. And this summer is going to be the summer where I figure out what that means. Whether, I joke about, I don't want to be the HOA president. That's a lot of responsibility. I mean, if I had been on the HOA board and I worked myself up to that, then maybe. But do I think I might want to be on the HOA board? You know, in the fall, I think is when the positions open. So maybe. Somebody commented on my video that I did the other day, and they said that they had worked at a management company, and that if somebody steps down as president during like the middle of a term, that the board just appoints somebody to be the HOA president. That is not how it has happened in our neighborhood before. When somebody steps down during the board midterm, they put out another vote. So that's why I was so surprised that she just stepped into it. She's a very nice woman. So, I mean, we could have, hey, how are you? We could have, I mean, worse people as the HOA president. The last guy, he was not the friend. I think they moved out of here. He's not the friendliest guy in the neighborhood. But she's super nice. I just feel like I worry a little bit that maybe she's... people expect so much from, like, the HOA president. Like, they call them and take all their concerns to them and stuff like that. By the way, we're a day out, and they haven't come over here and fixed that. So if they're not out here by tomorrow, I'm going to have to call the electric company. So, but I definitely want to get more involved this summer. And maybe that means me starting some stuff, you know? I don't know. So anyway, I think like watching that last night reminded me that I try to take feelings and emotions that I have when I go through stuff. Like if my feelings are hurt, or if I go through something and I feel let down, that I try to turn that into a teaching moment for myself to be a better friend, a better husband, a better son, a better cousin, a better neighbor in that moment, right? And so when I feel like there have been a few people that haven't shown up for me, then the takeaway from that is show up for people. You know, then I want to be, oh, there she is. What are you doing? What's all this?
That's what you're doing.
Any bets on when you think they'll open it?
Memorial Day weekend's early.
I know, somebody said it's the 25th this year, but I'm hoping they open it earlier than that.
Oh, they won't open early.
They did last year, I think on the 18th. We're the pool crew, so we'll have to see.
Getting in on it.
Have a good one. Enjoy your popcorn. Okay, I don't even know when the video stopped recording because I was talking to my neighbor that was walking down the street. And she's actually, I thought it was recording this. And then all of a sudden the camera just like, it didn't stop like where the battery's at the 30-minute mark. And it had already done that. The camera just completely turned off. And when it turns off, like when the battery's like, it's been, you know, like shut down for long enough, the camera like turns off, and like this part right here, I don't know what that's called, the what's that called? It goes in and everything like that. I was like, oh, I don't know if any of that was caught on camera when I was talking to my neighbor. But my neighbor, who is part of the pool crew, that was having the delivery last night, she was walking by, and so I don't know how much this was caught, but I was like, oh, are you going to book club? She's like, I'm not in that book club. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I would never be in that book club. And so we were talking, and then she's like, so what are we doing here? She's so funny. She's part of like, it's me and my neighbor on the corner and her that go to the pool the most. And so she's like, what are we doing here with these hostas? And I go, the hostas, she's like, they're doing good. She's like, but what about the mulch? And I go, no, I'm getting the mulch. She's like, when are you getting it? And I said, I'm gonna wait till I think the 1st of May. And she said, okay. We ended up talking for like 20 minutes. It's been like 20 minutes since I was recording. And she was talking because her brother and sister-in-law just moved into the neighborhood in this condo down there that Caroline was kind of looking at. And so she was telling me about them and what they're doing and where they're at and all kind of stuff. And so I was asking her, I was like, what's the delivery that you were getting yesterday? And she's like, oh no, it's not a delivery. She's like, we're having, and their condo is right behind the gardener's condo. And so she said, and they have willow trees back there and stuff like that. And she had to have a willow tree taken out when they first moved in. And so she was saying that they were having like a patio built out. And so they were there to look at it, to build out this patio. And she's real excited about it and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, we were talking, catching up and talking about the pool getting open. And she's who I sat with at, well, I sat next to the older woman when I was at the Eclipse. And then my neighbor on the corner, and then her, who's her direct neighbor. And so I sat with them. She was the one that had the playlist of all of the Eclipse songs. And she's real fun. And so, but her humor is so like dry and sarcastic, and she used to be a Catholic school teacher. I live in a neighborhood of like a lot of Catholic school teachers, and it just cracks me up because their sense of humor is so hilarious. And they all went to like Catholic schools and grew up with nuns, and so they're always telling these stories about like when they were growing up. They all know each other from like high school and stuff like that, and they were all teachers together at different schools. And so anyway, but yeah, we're all excited about the pool coming open. So anyway, I don't even know what I was talking about before. I was talking about watching that episode of Schitt's Creek and people not showing up and my circle getting smaller. But, you know, it's like I have to kind of like think through things and think through like, what time is it? Oh my Lord. It's almost 8 o'clock. I have to think through things and think about like I can look at like my circle getting smaller and people not showing up for me and getting sad about that, which it makes me sad because really I miss those friendships. It's not so much about the fact that, and I have reached out to those people. It's not so much about the fact that like, oh, shame on them, they didn't show up for me. I can get over that kind of stuff. It hurts my feelings, but I can get over that. Especially since I've tried to be that friend through the years. I guess I just really miss the friendships, and my circle has gotten smaller. I don't really mind my circle being small today because I know that the people that I have in my life today, like all the people that I mentioned, are literally ride or die and have my back and I have theirs, and I love them dearly and I know they love me, and that means more than anything, you know, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. So all right, because I can't keep, it's starting to get dark on there. I know it doesn't look like that here, but you can see it's starting to get dark out there. Oh, we were talking about across the street. I was telling her, like, she was like, yeah, they said that they can't get a hold of anybody when they call the electric company. I go, yeah, I had somebody on the line in 5 minutes. She just looked at me and she was like shocked. And she was like, well, you always joke about running for the HOA president. I go, I'm not running for the HOA president, but I could get it. I got it fixed in 5 minutes. I said, they said they would be out here. And she said, did you mention the other places in the neighborhood? I said, I mentioned them too. They're going to ride through the neighborhood. She's like, oh my God. She was like, you got somebody on the phone? I said, I got somebody on the phone. So I was telling her about all that. And we were just laughing about stuff. And she was like, yeah. She was like, I don't, because she doesn't come out that much, like in the fall and winter and stuff like that. So we were talking about I hadn't seen her that much and whatever. And I was telling her, she knows my neighbor that helped me with the hostas, and so she was like, she did such a nice job. I said, well, she had me plant them. I had to like shovel them and all this kind of stuff, but she just pointed to it. I said she was the one that dug them up. I was telling her how nice it was that she dug it up and stuff for me. But anyway, all right, so last night, let me just tell you about last night. Alex and I watched Schitt's Creek, and then I laid down and walked for a little bit last night. Then I laid down and I took a nap, but not a very long one, and then I got up. Alex went to bed really, really early last night. Like when we got done watching Schitt's Creek, he went, oh, no. We watched Vanderpump Villa, and then we watched Schitt's Creek. I talked to Tanya at some point, and then I laid down, and Alex went to bed like when I laid down. It was like 9:15, 9:30. I was like, I can't believe you're going to bed this early. I think it was like 9:15 or 9:30, and I was like, I can't believe you're going to bed this early. And so I laid down and took a nap, and then when I got up, I read a little bit, and then I was like trying to find something to watch. Maybe I talked to Tanya after I got up. I think I talked to Tanya after I got up because we talked for a while. I can't remember now. But anyway, I was like, I am like so wanting to get through The Walking Dead, but this season is so boring for me that I literally find myself like this, like looking at the iPad. I was like, I really want to get into a show and watch a show tonight. So I started going through all these shows on... Oh, here I have my list of the binge shows that I'm going to watch. Did I read them to you guys the other day? I think I told you what they were. Shows to binge. Okay, Yellowstone, Grey's Anatomy, Palm Royale, Real Housewives of Miami, Below Deck, Season 5. Below Deck Mediterranean, half of Season 5, 6 and 7. Ozark, This Is Us, Sister Wives, Sharp Objects, Handmaid's Tale. I've watched the first 2 seasons or the first 1 season, I can't remember. First season. Dexter, that's for Mel. Game of Thrones, Sherlock, 100, because I heard it was really good. It was on that list. Shameless, Fallout, it just came out. It's on Amazon Prime. I think I'm going to see if Alex wants to watch it, because it looks like something that Alex would want to watch. And then Baby Reindeer. So last night, I was going to start watching Baby Reindeer, which is this show. It's like a British show that's on Netflix. It's trending right now. And it's about a guy that's being stalked. It kind of looks a little bit like the movie Misery, the Stephen King movie Misery. I don't know why it reminds me of that, but I was gonna watch it, start watching it last night. The #1 show was in the US on Netflix was Unlocked. Actually, I was gonna go in on Amazon Prime. I was looking because I have 2 different documentaries. They're like an hour long, and they're about 9/11. And one is about phone calls. Has anybody watched this? I started watching it. I thought, this is so sad. I don't know that I can watch this tonight. And so it was about phone calls that family members and friends received from people before they died. And then the other one was like it happening in real time. And so, when I added them to my list, there was a couple other things on Amazon Prime that I was going to watch. So, but then I went in and I was like watching the trailers for all these shows and stuff. I spent like an hour probably doing all that. This coffee is so good. So this is the Cinnabon coffee. And then I went and I saw that it's called Unlocked, and it is the #1 show on Netflix. And it was like a jail show, and I was like, why is this jail show? Like, this reminds me so much of, I think it was called like 90 Days In or whatever, which took place, and it started in southern Indiana. I think it moved to another jail after the first 2 seasons. I thought it was like something like that. I thought it was some jail show, like Orange is the New Black, but real life, you know, or whatever. And I was like, what is this? And so I watched a trailer for it, and the trailer, I think I watched a trailer for it. Yeah, I watched a trailer for it. Pretty sure I did. And it was like the sheriff coming in and to this jail, and I think it's in Arkansas or Alabama, Little Rock, Arkansas. It's Arkansas. And he comes in, the sheriff, and he says that he's going to change how, it's a county jail, how this county jail is run. They have like a lot of serious offenders in there that are there for like capital murder and all these horrible charges. And so he's like, for them to be reformed and move back into society. So it's really, the whole show is about this new idea that he came up with, that they're like on 23-1. So they're locked up for 23 hours. And they're out for 1. And they always have like a deputy in there watching them at any given time. And they do shakedowns in the rooms and stuff like that. So he's like, what would happen if we gave them more freedom? So the deputy moves out, and it's a 6-week program where he basically, their doors are unlocked 24 hours a day, and they can move around as they want. And it's about them having to like build community and stuff. What's interesting is, I honest to God, when I went into watching it, I thought it would be, because the way that the trailer kind of portrays it is, that it was going to be a lot of people fighting and like making hooch and stuff like that, which that is part of it, but not a lot. Like they really do come together as a community to try to run this place. And I got 4 episodes in, and I mean, I literally could have binged all 8 episodes last night. It was so, the episodes didn't make sense. Like one was an hour, one was 48 minutes, one was 33 minutes, the last one was 48 minutes that I watched. So I watched the first 4 episodes. I had the last 4 episodes to watch tonight. It is so good, you guys. It's like one of the best shows I've watched in a long time. I don't know why it just reminded me of that. Well, I was thinking of that reality show Jury Duty, because Jury Duty is another show that I just like. Somebody recommended it to me and I binge watched it right away. But it is so, so, so good. So I would highly recommend Unlocked if you like that kind of stuff. I said something to Caroline about it today. She's like, yeah, I'm not really like that's not the kind of stuff that I love. And I was like, okay. So, Tanya will love it, though. Tanya, I'll tell her today. Oh, no, she's leaving tomorrow. I'll tell her today. She was like, I was asking her what she was, last night I was like, what are you doing before your vacation? She's like, well, I got to get Eric prepared on, you know, running the kennel, running the house, and everything like that. So anyway, so yeah, so, and then tomorrow I'm not doing Cousin Fun Day. We're not doing it this week at all, because she had meetings tomorrow and stuff, so she's going to do it on Friday. And then we're taking Boo to the vet on Friday, and I like to go for those appointments. So, yeah, and that's just it. So, tomorrow, I was kind of planning on not filming so many videos, but I'll probably film more videos. And so, today, I was like, okay, I'm going to bang out some videos today. And so, I ended up filming videos on all of my channels today. Can you believe it? I filmed a booktube video, I filmed a drama video, and they were longer videos too. Like my drama video is like 50 minutes. This is, where are we at right now? 42 minutes or something like that. And I mean, my review video and my Peter Does Stuff video were short. They were like 10 minutes. But my Peterisms video and my reality TV video, they were like 14 to 16 minutes, so they weren't super short. But yeah, I was really proud of myself. I was like, and it wasn't like I just like boom, 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 boom. I like filmed one, relaxed for a little bit, filmed one, relaxed for a little bit. I didn't get up super early today. I got up at like 12:30 and drank some coffee, took Boo out. Oh my God, Boo was running around like crazy. I have to show you this video, if I can find this video. Do I have sound on this? He is like running, I don't know if you can see this, but he is, well, you can't see it on here. But he is like running, I saved this for Alex. He is running all over the yard, little guy. Oh my God, he's so sweet. He was like a little puppy dog this morning. He was running all over the yard. He was so excited, and every time I take him out today, I think he just loves the warm weather. So I'm so happy for him. But tonight's supposed to rain. The sky actually looks a little bit like it might rain. We need it though for the hostas. So I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to have to get mulch maybe before May. My plan is to, like, every couple days work on the weeds so that by the time I lay mulch, there's really not that many weeds coming up. Though. Like, I've gotten to most of the weeds. But, oh, I got to ask Tanya before she leaves on vacation for that vinegar stuff that she told me to do. Vinegar, and somebody probably commented on the vlog last night. I haven't read any of the comments from the vlog from yesterday. So yeah, the watch time on the vlogs is crazy, you guys. I don't know if it's that you guys like longer vlogs. I've been vlogging like closer to an hour most nights, like between 45 minutes and an hour. But I was looking at the watch time the other day. I usually don't look at that kind of stuff. Like every once in a while, like I'll look it up. And I was like looking to like post my vlog. Was it last night or the night before? I think it was the night before, and I looked, and like the watch time was insane. It was like 10 minutes. It's like if my video was like an hour, it was like 50 minutes, which that's like a really long watch time for a video. Usually people like on a video, like the average watch time is like a fourth or a third of the video. That's insanity. That means that the majority of the people that are watching my videos are watching the entire video. So thank you. I appreciate that. I love that. It makes me happy. On my other channels, it's kind of funny because on my other channels, I just kind of assume that at some point, like, you know, people like, I try a soda and then they kind of like, you know, a lot of people probably just exit at that point, you know, that are just interested in the soda. Other people watch the whole video or whatever. My watch time, I would say, on my videos across the board, like, are, like, when I talk to other YouTubers, they're like, oh my god, my watch time is so bad. Like, I made a, you know, a 20-minute video, my watch time was like 4 minutes, and they're like, what's your watch time? And I'm like, 12 minutes? And they're like, people watch you that long? And I'm like, I guess, I don't know. Like, I guess I'm just pretty lucky for watch time. But thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, I've had fun filming longer videos. I think also because it's like really getting, I know you guys can't see it, but it's like really getting dark under here. Well, it's not, that doesn't even show anything. It's getting dark though. But I think with the nicer weather and stuff like that, it makes it easier for me to sit out here and film longer and all that kind of stuff. So it is really nice to, you know, be able to sit out here and end my day vlogging. It's super cathartic for me, and this vlog probably would have been a little bit longer if I hadn't talked to my neighbor so much, but that was so fun talking to her. So I'm gonna get off here so I can get this up so it's not going up at midnight, and I'm gonna get off here now. So it was so nice to talk to her though. That was so fun. It was so nice to talk to you guys, and I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Tuesday and a fantastic week. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you, and I'm going to do a real short outro today. Don't forget you can start your day over whenever you want, or your week if you need to. Make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much it means to you, however you do that. Also, do something kind and positive for somebody today, but shh, don't tell anybody. Be nicer to people, be nicer to yourself, love people more, love yourself more. It's worth it. It matters. You matter. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you.